Y'all know what's going on. It's time for another episode of Doing Time with Joe. I'm your host, Joe Baker. Look here, y'all. This is I found that pack, right? Look, in episode 2, I told bro that if it came out, I'm going to throw him under the bus. I ain't finna play no game. I ain't finna go down with him. You know what I'm saying? Because he didn't want to listen. He didn't want to listen. He wanted to do what he wanted to do. I told him he could smoke all that, sell his cocaine, get his money. Because I knew if that weed get out, they know they weed. People know their product. They know what they got. And then here he is thinking that he's slick, gonna be trying to sell it to some of the members of the organization that had lost his pack. Like they don't know what they got going on. He ain't wanna listen. So that's what we're getting ready to deal with now in this episode, y'all. I'm gonna tell y'all how this thing played out. It's not funny, but it is. Like I said in some of my way back episodes, sometimes stupid is funny. Sometimes. And this is one of those situations where it is and it ain't. Because it could get ugly. Now y'all stay tuned, pay attention, because this is going to be one of those episodes where, you know, the lessons that you learn, you can take them and apply them to your life out there. You can take them and apply them to your life out there. You got to learn to listen sometime to people. If you don't want to listen, then sometimes you got to deal with what's coming your way, right? Sometimes you got to deal with what's coming your way. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. Now check this out. Folks done got smacked. He done got smacked in the mouth. Now the other guy, they had to go to his aid and help him out, trying to make sure that, you know, he don't get killed over there. Because them dudes, they whooping him. He don't know whether to run or what. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, it's not pretty. It's not pretty at all. But they break it up. Now when all the guys coming back over to me and my number 2, we sitting at the table, I'm telling them before they get there, man, I know what this is all about. And he said, what's going on? I said, man, look here, man. Last week, you know that pack that they talking about they missing? My number 2 was like, yeah. I said, man, me and bro, we found that thing, man. And I told him to lay low. I told him what he needed to do to make sure they would never know nothing about this, right? So my number 2 looking at me like he rubbing his hands together. Because he know I'm finna have to break him off. He already know what it is. You know what I'm saying? So he looking at me. I'm looking at him, and I'm saying to myself, the only reason I'm doing this is because I gotta team up with you on this, right, to make sure that I don't go down with it. It's not that I can go down for taking that pack, right? I can go down because now this done elevated into a situation where the folks them had to step in and get in it. Because his idiot wants to go try to sell the dope to the same organization that lost their back. So now I'm bringing undue heat to the org. So now I got to secure my down. That's just what it is. So bro was like, what you want me to do? Play along with it? He said, man, I got you. So when they get back over, bro named my COS, he was like, hey, Joe. He said, bro over here talking about, man, that you know what's going on. I said, I know what's going on with what? He said, why cuz and them over there, you know, tripping like that, right? I said, really? Really? Now, the fact that I said cuz don't mean they cripping. I'm just letting you know. Ha ha, I thought you heard me, didn't you? I know you thought you had me, but you don't. But anyway, here we go. So when he came over there, and I'm like, look here, I don't really know what's going on. He said, okay. He said, I tell you what. This is what we're going to do. He said, I'm going to finish talking to bro and find out what's really going on. And then I'm going to report back to you and let you know what he's saying and all this and that, right? Because, you know, now that we in it, we got to figure out what's going on. We got to, you know what I'm saying, get the truth out so we can deal with this in the right way because we don't know if it's going to escalate or what. Then you got to keep in mind, this organization, these guys have gone over, now they're in their corner too. They're in their corner doing their thing, talking and looking over there at us like what's really going on. Now, the heads of the organization, they're on their way. So now me and my number 2 and my COS, Chief of Security, we're sitting over there like, man, okay. Especially me and the number 2, because I done already told him what's going on. So when I tell everybody to disperse and just leave us 3 over there, right? So while they're still walking towards us, this other organization, I tell my number 2, tell him what's going on. He gave him the rundown. He was like, so you know what's going on? I said, man, look here, man. I ain't got time to explain it all to you now. Just listen to what we're saying, play along with it, and then everything gonna be straight on down the line. At that point, what he knew and understood that to mean is, I'm gonna cut you in. That's how this game is. It's cutthroat, rough, rugged, and raw. Rough, rugged, and raw. You understand what I'm trying to tell you? So, when they get over there, right, my COS, he says, man, what y'all want? I said, man, we want to talk to y'all, man. He said, your little brother, man, found our pack. So what you saying? How you know we found your pack? I heard about what's going on, right? This is what the CS tell them. I heard about what's going on, but that don't mean little bro found the pack. So man, so then one of the other dudes said, man, we know our weed, man. That was our weed. Ain't nobody got no weed like that on the compound. So that's when I interjected. I said, wait a minute, man. First of all, I don't know what y'all talking about as far as y'all weed. I said, is this the only weed in the state that smell like this? They were like, no, Joe T, but you know what I'm saying. I said, no. I said, it sounded to me like y'all trying to find a scapegoat. And GD ain't going to be the one. I'm just letting you know that right now. Now, if y'all want to take this to another level because y'all done lost somebody's pack or your own pack, then that's on you. But at the end of the day, you're not finna make us believe or make somebody in my fold pay for something that you did. That ain't going to happen, man. It just ain't going to happen. And I said, I feel disrespected by you coming over here like that. I said, Joe T, we ain't trying to disrespect you or nothing like that, or the folks. But at the end of the day, man, we just trying to get what belonged to us. I said, man, don't nothing belong to you. If you lost it, that's it. I said, what you think this is, man? I said, what you think this is, man? It ain't like that, Joe T. It sounded to me like it's like that. You trying to figure out who gonna pay for your mistake. The folks ain't paying for your mistake. If our brother did something, we gonna deal with him. You ain't had no business putting your hands on him when you did. I ought to go at you for that, just that alone. Man, we ain't trying to have no problem. I said, man, look, let me tell you something. When your brothers put their hands on my folks, man, we got a problem now. So what you gonna do about that? See, I had to distract them. I had to put them on the defense. Make them think it's gonna be some bigger problems. So they'll start to focus on their brothers that put their hands on our brother. You understand what I'm trying to tell you? Y'all ain't peeping game. Y'all ain't peeping game. You're too slow. You're too slow out there now. I'm trying to tell y'all what's really going on up in here. So now they talking about, okay, we gonna take care of them. Because they ain't have no right doing that. Ain't nobody tell them to do that. See, they had to throw that in there so that we'll understand that they didn't sanction it. But we know what's going on. They've been putting the word out all week. Anybody can get it. But see, it's easy to put out blanket threats. Then ain't nobody on the other end of it. But when you run up against that wolf, right? When you run up against that wolf, now you want to separate and say, no, we didn't tell them to do that. Yeah, you did. But I'm going to play the game with them. I'm going to play the game with them because at the end of the day, I'm playing to win. I play chess, not checkers. You understand? So here we go. I said, okay, so y'all going to deal with the brothers that put their hands on my brother, right? Yeah. I said, then what else we got to talk about? What about the pack? What about the pack? Hey, bro, go get bro. Bring him over here. We finna find out right now. Now, keep in mind, let me tell y'all something. Based on what this brother says, I'm gonna either throw him under the bus or we finna squash this right now. You understand what I'm saying? So he comes over there. I say, hey, bro, I'm gonna ask you one time only. And I'm looking at him dead in his eyes. And I want him to understand what I'm saying and what I'm not saying. If he say the wrong thing, he through. He toast. If he say the right thing, he good. We move on. He can go get high, whatever he want to do. I said, bro, I'm going to ask you one time and I need you to tell me the business. Does that weed belong to them? He was like, no, bro. I said, you ain't got to tell me where you got it. But do you got your own move? Yeah, bro. Enough said then. GD that. Dismissed. He walks away. I look at them. I said, check this out. You come over here again, you need to be letting me know what happened to them brothers that put their hands on my brother. Other than that, we ain't got nothing to talk about. If you don't take care of that, I don't find out you took care of that. And when I say took care of that, I need to see them lumped up. If you ain't took care of that, then we'll be to see you. It's as simple as that. I'm not finna tolerate nobody on this compound thinking they can put their hands on the folks and then don't nothing happen. Simple as that with me. So look, now they looking at me like, man, what do we do? Is this worth going that far with? Because Joe T ain't playing. We've seen how he get down before. You feel what I'm saying? So they know what it is. They know how serious I take this stuff. What they don't know is this is all the shook. It's the shook. I ain't finna do nothing because I know my head in the cooking jar. I done played games with these folks. I got they pack. At least half of it anyway. But we done gone too far. We done gone too far. I can't tell them what the business is. At the end of the day, like I said, at the beginning of this series, when you find something in here, ain't no giving it back. Ain't no turning it in to the police. That's the raw lesson in here. But there's consequences for your actions in here. And if you ain't willing to play the game all the way out, then don't play it at all. All of y'all out there that think you really about this life, you don't have a clue about this life. The people that you can align with, the people that's a part of the organization that you with, will turn on you at the drop of a dime if it means that them or you. And that's what this episode is about. When this story went down, I had no idea that I would be telling this story later on to teach a life lesson. Had no idea. All I was doing is playing and reading from the book that I had been taught from, the book of Gangster. Because it's a raw game. Ain't no love in this. And if that brother would have said the wrong thing, off with his head, I would have let him have him. We'd have dealt with it, but he'd have been done. And then I'd have probably pushed him off the compound. Why? Because he was a threat to me. That's how dirty and raw this thing is. Talking about love. Ain't no love in this. Ain't no love in this, y'all. I'm trying to tell you what it is. Keep fooling yourself all you want to. You're going to find yourself on the wrong end of the game. And then when you find yourself on the wrong end of the game, you're going to be boo-hooing and crying. But ain't nobody coming for you. Ain't nobody coming to help you. Ain't nobody drying your tears. You on your own. And that's what you need to learn to understand about this thing in here. You own your own. I don't care if you got an army. That same army that says they with you today will be the one that'll take your life tomorrow. They don't care nothing about you. It's all transactional. What does that mean? You don't know what that means? Look it up. But I'm going to tell you this time. Transaction, all it means is what you can do for me, what I can do for you. Quid pro quo. Read your books. Understand that since you like to read the 4-day laws of power. Understand the manipulation game. Understand the art of war. Understand that. You don't get it though. I know you don't get it. But the game is raw. And yeah, I would have tossed that young brother under the bus. And like I said, not under the part he can roll straight through. I would have tossed him under the treads. You done. Because that's what you learn in here. You learn to be about self. Ain't about nobody else. It's about self. Sad, but it's true. Sad, but it's true, y'all. Just wanted to drop that on you. Just wanted to drop that on you. Oh, wait a minute. Hold up. Before I leave, let me tell you what happened. That other organization, look here. They went and beat the brakes off of them dudes. I'm talking about whooped them good. Whooped them real good. Came back and let me know. And I'm standing there, I'm like, that's what's up. We shake hands, we move on. Folks and them got high and laughed about it. Those of us that knew anyway. Because we couldn't even tell the rest of the family about it because they run their mouth too much too. They run their mouth too much. Can't tell them nothing. But they going to let it be known. Just to have something to talk about. Just to have something to talk about. They going to let it be known. For real talk, y'all. Real talk. This has been another episode of Doing Time with Joe. I'm your host, Joe Baker. And I say peace, y'all.